Welcome to the Howell Business Beat, where we bring you the latest insights, trends, and success stories from the heart of the business world. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just passionate about the ever-changing landscape, this is the business podcast for you. I'm Janelle Smith, president of the Howell Area Chamber of Commerce, and today I have my co-host joining me, Dianne Samples. Welcome, Dianne.
Happy New Year, everybody.
We are so excited to be here. We have our guest today that we have gotten to know pretty well, and we're excited to share her with the rest of the business community.
This is going to be fun today.
It is.
Buckle up.
Yep. So we would love to welcome Sharla Horton. She is the coordinator at the Livingston Business Hub. Welcome, Sharla.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, absolutely. So we like to start and kick off each podcast and just get to know a little bit more about the person. So if you could tell us just a little bit about who you are, who is Sharla, and a little bit about your journey and how you landed at the Livingston Business Hub.
That's a deep dive, Janelle. We don't
I
have
know.
2 hours.
We don't. I'll do my best to keep you on track.
So I'm Sharla, and my background, I was the executive director for the Mason Area Chamber of Commerce. I was there for 3 years, so I have some nonprofit background, business background. I was a business owner. I owned a bar for 3 years. I owned a small crafting business for 5 years that I started out of my basement, so I'm very, very entrepreneur-based in that. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom, and then before that, I was a nurse, so pretty broad. And then there was one time when I was on a dairy farm when I first started working, so food and beverage industry for 15 years, so I have quite a
diverse background.
Resume.
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely. Probably not 16 pages, but
maybe 3.
Might be.
maybe 3. Yeah, you never
She
know.
could probably stretch it out to 60
I
pages.
probably could.
Exactly.
ChatGPT could help me with that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, what drew you to the Livingston Business Hub, and can you share a little bit more about what that is?
The Livingston Business Hub it drew me just because of my background for entrepreneurship. I think it's really important for businesses to have just kind of a home base, a landing spot for resources, for help, for guidance, for sometimes just community. Because when you're at home in your basement and you're crafting and you don't have anyone there to help you, it can be lonely at times. Mm-hmm. And I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there that get a little sense of loneliness. So I think the Livingston Business Hub is not just a hub for resources, but it's actually a physical hub. So we have co-working space. So you can come if you're not feeling productive at home, or you want sometimes it's a stay-at-home mom that has a business at home and she wants adult, interaction just to get her out of her normal space. So I think so that's what drew me. So the Livingston Business Hub is that landing spot. It's that place for you to come, to have resources, to look at our programs that we're offering, and just be a part of something to help you grow your business. Mm-hmm. Strengthen your business.
So, what is your role within the hub?
I'm the hub coordinator. So, when we have people apply for the program, the Small Business Hub program, those applicants come to me and I help them decide on a program that's good for them, whether it's with Fastest Route or Roar Consulting. I help them with that based on their needs and their objectives and things that they're looking to help grow their business. I also am in charge of the space. So if we had an electrician come in this morning, so I was there to greet him and help him get a quote for the hub, helping set up networking events, booking the conference space that we have available, and anything that you ladies at the chamber also need from me.
You were talking about the hub programs. Maybe take a little bit of a deeper dive into what those hub programs are and how they can benefit and be a resource for those entrepreneurs out there or small business owners that are looking for some additional resources.
So we have the Small Business Hub program. It's an application process, which if you visit mysmallbusiness.org, you can apply for that. You don't have to, but it's a resource out there to help you with some of those costs for the program. But if you're a business that doesn't qualify or doesn't need that, those programs are available to you. So we work with, right now we have 3 program directors, Kevin Sabowski with Fastest Route. And right now he's got Growing a Brilliant Business, which is a program that's designed for businesses that they have a product or a service that's really good. It's great. They've been successful with it, but they kind of have hit this plateau, and they just need a little more focus and drive and maybe redirection on marketing or even just the service itself and how to reestablish it within different demographic of businesses. So that's a 6-month cohort. It's a peer-led group. So Kevin likes to have between 12 and 15 people in those groups. And they sit down for 3 hours once a month for 6 months, and they just go through their model, their business, and bounce ideas off each other and just try to refocus where they started and where they are and where they want to go. He also does quarterlies, which is also another peer-led group. But this focuses on your business plan and maybe revamping your business plan and looking at your vision, your rocks, all of those things within your business. So we have those 2 with him that we've actually have participants in. He offers some other programs. We haven't utilized those yet. I can't think of the name of the CEO one. I can't remember. But there's a CEO leadership one that he does offer.
And Kevin's experience is really rooted in entrepreneurial operating systems.
Correct.
So a lot of the experience he brings to the conversations, to the cohorts, to the quarterlies are really built around the basics and the fundamentals of that, from what I understand.
Correct. So, like EOS. So we talked about EOS in business. So that's kind of, he helps with those as well. So the other program director is Jason Tracy with Roar Consulting. And he has 2. He has strategic marketing level 10 groups that he does, which basically it kind of reminds me of Kevin's quarterlies as well, because it talks about your vision, mission, and your rocks and all of those things that go along with building your business and sustaining that and having your team-oriented discussions. But he also does what's called Objection Boot Camp. And these are designed for people that are, I always go to sales because it's the easiest one to talk about. We get in a sales role and you have someone in front of you that are like, I don't want to pay that for a sofa. Jason's boot camp is designed to help you overcome those objections and not tell the person that they're wrong, that they don't want the sofa, but kind of go around that objection. It's a really great, I sat through one of the classes and I found it to be not just business skills, but life skills too. Mm-hmm. You can take right along with you. Like if you're dealing with an in-law, that's tough, that's an objection. So it's just a great course. We've had really great feedback from our participants so far. And I've seen the success too with some of the participants. So I think we just have some really great things that are happening with the Livingston Business Hub.
Right. It is all really fascinating to me, and it's exciting to see it all come together and to have you be the one driving this initiative. It's fantastic. I want to circle back just on the piece that you mentioned about being an entrepreneur yourself and sometimes feeling isolated or lonely. And I think that these programs really help put an emphasis on creating that sounding board or that group of individuals that may be feeling some of the same or similar pain points that you're feeling as an entrepreneur, so that you leverage their expertise, and maybe it's something that they've already been through, right? Like they're experiencing a challenge that maybe somebody in the group has already experienced, so they can share how they've maybe overcome that. So I think that's really nice to kind of even just build that network, so like beyond the quarterlies or your fastest route group cohort or your objection handling boot camp, you're building a network of other entrepreneurs that you can work and grow with and synergize with. And really, I think leveraging that in and of itself is a great opportunity to build long-term sustainability and growth efforts within your own business.
I also think that entrepreneurs, it's a very diverse group. So there's so many different components to that. It encompasses so many different industries and products and services. So to get those different perspectives from people who maybe are in a completely, maybe you're in more of a service-oriented business, or trying to grow that business, and someone else is maybe in more of a product based, but to be able to get those different perspectives of how you can kind of grow to reach different demographics, I think that's really important too.
I think that's important too, because I think no matter what the industry is or what your product is, services, we all fall into the same situations at some point, right?
Yep.
So if you're selling a product, you're going to have a difficult customer. If you're having a service and you're going into someone's home and you're putting new flooring in, that person might be difficult, right? If you have insurance, if you're an insurance company and you have a product line for automobile insurance, that can be something difficult. And maybe what happened in a retail happened to this person. They can relate and give you some advice to help you back on your end in your insurance world. So I agree with you. I think that's the nice collaboration that you get out of those groups.
Well, it's just a different energy and a different synergy, and just
it is. And
having
I think like the entrepreneur itself brings that to the table.
Yes.
So like one of the things I was going to mention is an entrepreneur doesn't necessarily go into business to make money. I think that's actually one of the things that they tend to struggle with the most. An entrepreneur goes into business because they're passionate about whatever it is that they're creating, their widget, their product, whatever they're putting on the shelves, or whatever service they're selling. They're, if they're helping people, that's where their passion lies. So they might not have the toolbox or the skill set to build that business. And this is this support, these programs that are offered through the hub is really going to help them hone in on that and help them be successful in their endeavors, because like that's not where, I mean, their heart isn't in like, hey, I'm going to work on my business plan, or hey, I'm going to hone in
how
on my
about that QuickBooks?
Yeah, or then like even sometimes too, I think it's like, yeah, they really want to do this, but like they also don't know how to put a value on it.
Correct.
I was just going to say, I think that's the hardest thing
part
for somebody is to know their value.
Paying your time. I think when I was an entrepreneur, it was paying myself my time.
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
I could
That's
price
what
my
I'm saying.
product.
Yeah,
right?
your time is your biggest.
That was
that
the
is
hardest
your
thing.
greatest asset, and that is valuable. And people don't realize. I have a sister who's very entrepreneurial, and she does baking, and she's done florals, and we've done weddings, and it's very, very hard to put a price tag on that, because people, you tend to think of it, oh, well, I'm just doing this on the side, I can't charge this, but you've got your time, you've got your talent. There's a reason people are coming to you, is because they either can't do it or they don't want to do it.
And that was when I was in my business, I did a lot of what you're talking about with your sister. I created wreaths, I did special occasion hats, I did Cricut, I did sublimation, so I did all of these things. And for me, it was an outlet because it started during COVID. So at night, I'd go down in the basement and I would spend hours down there, and I'd create these things and I'd sell them. And my boss, where I had my small business housed at, was like, "Oh, I don't think that's enough. You're not charging for your time." And I'm like, "I don't know how to charge for my time."
Well, and people don't realize all the components of that. Like even with baking, the science that's in creating these gorgeous cakes that you see on TikTok and online. There's a science to that, and you really have to research and know that. And that's
not just the time to research it, but then to craft your skill,
exactly.
right?
The construction.
Because the first cake that you make is not going to look like the one on TikTok. It's not. Yeah. So even that, like the time it took you to get to that, maybe not expert level, but that intermediate level where you're like, okay, I can put the fondant on and it's going to look really good,
No, and that's what I think is so really beautiful about being able to offer these programs and services. And so you mentioned quite a few programs, Sharla, that we have at the hub available to individuals, and if they apply and qualify, they're able to be a part of this. Now, I've got a couple questions for you.
What if put me on the spot?
What if there's something that they're looking for that we don't offer?
That's my job. I'm going to research that, and I'm going to find something that we can bring to the hub. If I can't find it, we have 5 other partners involved in our program. So the likelihood of not having something that can help them is really not an option.
Right.
So,
and then what if they don't qualify through our application process for financial support for these programs? Specifically, what's next for them? Can they still participate?
They can still participate. It's just it will be at a cost. I don't know what the programmers what their
fee
structure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fee structure is for those, but that's a conversation that can be had.
And we can help facilitate that.
We can help facilitate that, and I think there is something to be said that if they don't qualify for help with cost through our program, there might be another program out there to help cover those costs as well. And that's also, again, comes back to me researching to see if there's something else out there to help small business.
Fantastic. So, how long has the hub been around, and what do you see on the horizon for 2025 as far as programming goes?
Well, I came in half the year for 24, and I believe the hub started the end of 23. Am I correct?
I would say, yeah.
Second half of 23.
Officially, ribbon cutting
was December 10th. I think it was December. It was December 11th, 2023.
Okay.
But it was born before then. So it's been
It's been in the
happening.
works
So we're into
for a while.
January
Yeah.
of 25.
Right.
So we're a year and a little month maybe into it. So, so fully a year, functioning, open, going a year. And then 25, we're just going to grow. We are working on a plan for Livingston Academy. Janelle and myself and Kevin Sabowski and Jason Tracy are working to build some more programs, build some other things, some leadership, some networking, some talk about different things that maybe aren't offered at other entities like
Entrepreneurial.
like
marketing.
Yeah, marketing and the strategic planning and things like that aren't offered at other entities. We kind of want to be that hub and that resource for that. So working at growing those things and getting that, again, just being a landing spot, a support system, maybe not just leadership, but I would like it to be a resource for all sizes where, I need help with my business plan. Who do you know that can help me with that? Well, we would refer you to the SBDC, which is a free service to help you with a business plan. How do I figure out zoning because I'm looking into a brick and mortar? Well, we have relationships with municipalities that can help you with that. So kind of being that support system to be able to point someone in the right direction for different things that they're looking for in the process of either obtaining, starting, growing, scaling, whatever it is in your business.
Whole gamut. Yep. It's that one-stop shop is what I like to say. So I also happen to know that we're looking at potentially gearing some programming around specific startups. So looking at like a business quick start program where we bring all the partners to the table a couple times a year to have those in the space and get that launched. Now, Sharla, how many participants have we had qualify and become enrolled? I know I'm putting you on the spot here with numbers.
Yeah, because, I could give you a
roughly.
solid number yesterday, but today I had, let me think. I think as of today, walking out of the office to come here, I think I can strongly say that we're at 38 or 40.
Businesses.
And
That's
yesterday we were at
That
31.
is fantastic.
So
That's exciting.
we had just a ton come across my desk.
And this is really since July, since you started. So we're under a year and
Yeah.
we're already at roughly 40 some
Yeah.
participants. That's
Yep.
fantastic. So I think we have ambitions to serve at least 100 through the next year and a half as we continue to grow the program. And we'd love to see even those that are maybe interested in the programming participate, even if they don't qualify, because we've got some really good offerings.
I think the other important thing that we should touch on during this conversation is the hub itself.
The space.
Yeah, we have a
Absolutely.
co-working space. We have 10 co-working desks in our space. We have conference space. So we have this giant conference room that's 48 to 50 people in the large room. And then there's a wall can be broken down anywhere from 35 to 40 people on the larger side and then 12 to 15 on the smaller side. We have a kitchen in there with a bar. We have a small office. So if you had the three of us, we could have a conference in the small office. The co-working space, we have a phone booth. Printing services available at a small charge. So we just have this beautiful space that's there that you can utilize. So even if you aren't wanting a program, but you're an at-home business, you don't have a brick and mortar, but you want a space that you can come sit at, we have co-working space. We have small membership for that as well. And then we also have 2 offices that are available for lease within the chamber right now too. So if you want
to begin to grow your business.
To begin to
if
grow.
you've outgrown your house, which
Yep.
is what we love to see. We want to bring those businesses in and see them grow and outgrow us so that we can have a revolving door.
Yeah, and the goal again maybe would be to have that corner office or to have a brick and mortar, but you need to get out of your basement. You need to go to the next step and let us be that next step for you before you get into to the bigger picture, right? So we have those available as well.
And we have a big comfy green couch.
We do. Yeah.
And orange chairs.
Amazing. And they swivel.
They're comfortable.
We're fun. We're fun people to be around.
So like that's the other piece that I was going to touch on is like not only do we have this great space, but this synergy that happens there, the connections, the people that walk through that door, the people you meet. It's really connecting you not only to other business, not only to other entrepreneurs, but it's connecting you to the community. And there's a real, I think, piece of that is key to success in whatever you're doing. I think it's kind of like, I like to say that the chamber is kind of like the heartbeat of the community, the business community in that way.
You call it heartbeat. I call it the root system.
There you go.
It holds everyone together.
It does. And once if you're looking at it from that root system perspective, you're laying a strong foundation for growth and success to come. So I think that's really exciting.
Well, and I think too, you're setting yourself up to almost transition into that mentor type position as well. So you're coming in, you've outgrown your basement or your kitchen table. Now you're in the corner office and you're growing and you're meeting people and you're creating that energy. And then the hope is that you're going to outgrow that corner office and need to get a brick and mortar. Yeah. But you're still going to have those still be creating those relationships and hopefully kind of bring up that next generation of business owners and entrepreneurials and just, help to engage and to inspire and to be that example of, look, these are the steps. Because I think people get discouraged with the steps too. They don't feel like they're growing.
It comes back to that loneliness too, right?
They feel like they're an island, and now they realize,
I'm the only person that this is happening to, right? And so I think something also to be said is about our space is not just the space itself or what we're offering, but the amazing team that we have working there. I think everybody's there for all the right reasons. So I'm there as the hub coordinator, but then you have Janelle, you have Dianne, you have Jennifer, and now we have Julie. We have this great team of people that are there that want to help you, that want to point you in the right direction, that we are there to help you grow your business. And if you just step outside of your comfort zone and realize that this resource is there for you, the possibilities are really endless, I think.
I would agree. And it's amazing. So we're so excited to have you in this role. One of the other things I wanted to mention is the tech support also at the co-working space. So we have giant interactive collaborative screens so you can have meetings, but soon coming this year, 2025, we will also have podcasting equipment. So if you're somebody who has just kind of would like to dip their toe into that or check it out a little bit.
So, my next entrepreneur endeavor is a podcast of my own.
There we go. So Sharla will be our first one to test it out. She's going to be our guinea pig. But yeah, we really want to offer those ones, the entrepreneurs, all of our businesses, our members, opportunities to have their own platform, to have their own voice, to help be a voice for business. And that's holistic. I mean, that is all around. And that's what we're looking to achieve through the Livingston Business Hub.
Well, too, and I think it's great opportunities to partner. It's partnering. We can partner with our schools. With a podcast, we can bring in the media classes and maybe have them work with businesses to produce and to edit their podcasts and meet these individuals and these business owners and these entrepreneurial spirits that they might not otherwise get opportunities to engage with.
Which is great. All the way around. It's full circle, right?
Yes,
because now your business is getting a podcast. The kids are learning how to do it. It's full circle. It's perfect.
It is. And then when they grow, they get big enough and they've got the money to spend. They can come to Wayne Media Group or the Speakeasy.
Exactly. I mean, we're building that workforce, and we are. We're showing them different aspects. And even, I know you mentioned we have a bar. It is not a fully stocked bar.
Yeah, no.
It's more like a breakfast
bar.
Stools. But, there's opportunities there. We could, again, kind of bridging that gap between education and business and bringing in different classes and things that might want to think about maybe starting a business and having something, a coffee bar would be nice, having,
and we have
a
good sense sponsor now.
Absolutely.
Yep,
good sense.
So it's like
the aroma is amazing.
Yeah. So again, it's like the people they can meet, these kids, and that can just show them different. And I'll go back to a conversation I had when I was at the youth employment fair, I think it was last year, I was talking to, it was the Gales, it was Emily and Stephanie from M Street, and they were talking about all of the different, people don't realize the different opportunities and the different careers
I was just gonna say
that you can have at a bakery. You know, it's not just, you know, baking the donuts or, you know, making the coffee or making the cakes. There's, you know, there's accounting, there's business planning, there's purchasing, you know, there's HR. And you don't think of that when you think of a small business, but when they scale and they grow,
They're going to need all those people to sit in those seats.
Exactly. We want to keep our talent here.
And I think that's another thing to touch on too, like how important it is to for us to be that hub to let people know that there are, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I was in high school, my career choices were stay-at-home mom, nurse, or cosmetologist, interior design, teacher, right? Like those were my choices. My children now, where I'm at, like the possibility, the things that I'm learning by working where I've worked for the last 4 or 5 years, it's amazing that the opportunity's there, but people don't know about it. So how do we educate them? This is how we do it right here.
Yep. No, I would agree. I'm going to go back to my another Danism for the day. My dad's name is Dan.
The toilet paper?
I'll share the toilet paper one because you brought it up.
That was a good one.
The one that came to mind is you were talking about career opportunities, and my dad would always say to me, "The world is your oyster."
I just said that this morning.
Yeah. And
oh my gosh, that's so funny.
There you go. I mean, but one of the toilet paper one I got to share is
that's a good one.
It's a good one. Life is like a toilet paper roll. The closer you get to the end, the quicker it goes.
Oh, it's true.
Those last 2 sheets, man. And you notice how when it gets to a certain weight, all of a sudden it just
it goes by itself.
It really goes fast.
That's
I wonder what age that is.
Oh, let's not. I don't want to know.
No.
It's my age.
No.
Oh,
yeah, no, I think there's a lot of opportunity, and the biggest part at this point, I think, is just getting the word out, letting people know that we have it here. It's sitting in your backyard. And we serve the Livingston Business Hub. It has the county name in it, Livingston. So we service the entire county. We're not just Howell. We're all of it. So Brighton, Heartland, Fowlerville, Pinckney,
and we do pull from outside of the counties too. I mean, it's really here. It's
I just got someone this morning that's from Ingham County, from Lansing. So you know.
We're here to help. We're here to build business. We're here to build community, and it's pretty exciting stuff. So, Sharla, we're so grateful to have you on the team at the Livingston Business Hub at the Chamber. This is really exciting.
It's going to be a great year.
It is
2025.
A great decade.
Hey, I'm in for that.
There we go. I like it. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We hope to catch you next time on the Howell Business Beat. If you're looking for any information on the episode, it'll be in the show notes. And we hope to have you come visit the Livingston Business Hub.